Hello and welcome to another episode of the Good Hearted Podcast. Today, I'm going to be making a bad mental health day kit. And honestly, this is very timely because I have had lots of hard days in the last month, probably, where I've just felt very down and low energy and just not really sure like what was putting me in a bad mood. I was just in a bad mood. And so I actually got this idea from my friend Megan who shared it on her Instagram story, and it's from a different Instagram account. I'll definitely be sure to link it in the description. So before we get into this, I want this to be a cozy experience for you. So if you need to, please pause, go grab a drink. I've got my Diet Coke in my can little koozie to keep it nice and cold because I can never finish a drink anymore without it getting like lukewarm, whether it was supposed to be hot or cold initially. And so get your drink. I would love for you to kind of go along with me and do this, or at least save this episode and the Instagram post to revisit later and maybe build your own kit. But this is definitely an episode where I think it would be good for you to be intentional with it and maybe take some notes of what could work for you. If you are listening to this episode, you can feel free to go over to YouTube and watch the episode. I'm going to be showing you the things that I have. It's not that exciting, but if you would rather, like if you're more of a visual person, go check it out on YouTube. So anyway, let me take a drink of my Diet Coke and we will get into this. Ooh, so crisp. I love a fresh Diet Coke out of the can. Okay, so I'm going to get on my phone really quick and find that post. Okay, so this is a little like carousel, slide on Instagram from the account that's just called Feminist. And when I saw Megan post this on her story, I went to and I looked at it and I thought it was very cute and like a good idea, but I was like, it's not for me. I don't need to do that, whatever. Well, then I had like multiple hard days in a row. And now that like this week, my energy levels have been kind of up. I've been more motivated and felt inspired. And I think part of that is because I have let go of some things, work wise and in my personal life, and even just getting shit out of my home. And so I just feel like I'm in a better space mentally right now to tackle a project like this. When you're already having those bad mental health days, it's really hard to make yourself do something like this. So if you're not able to do it when you are feeling down, maybe take a day where you're feeling up and just make this for a rainy day. And this doesn't have to be just like a bad mental health day. It can be a moment. It can be a bad body image day or a bad body image moment. Again, like just when you're having those hard times, maybe you can just kind of revisit this. And I really like the prompts that this post gives because it's things I would not have thought about, but things that now that I have thought about it, I'm like, that would make me happy. And it would be nice to kind of have that just sitting and waiting for me when I needed it. So I'm just going to read this post. Again, it is linked in the description if you want to go to the post and see it for yourself. And if you're watching on YouTube, I will attempt to put up screenshots for you. So at the very top, it says perspective, Brittany Long Olson. And then the caption says, you could be that person who can offer care and love for when your future self needs it. Art by, and it has their handle and where they got this post. On my worst days, I really need to be reminded of how much I am loved, especially when it's hard to love myself. Once a therapist told me, no one knows how to love you better than you. My In Case of Emergency kit has been such a gift from the person who knows me best. I love that. So now I'm going to go through reading the slides. On a recent bad mental health day, I kept wishing I had someone to talk me out of the despair I was feeling. Later, I realized I could be that person. I made myself an In Case of Emergency kit to help me through future bad days. Here's what it included. And so this is what I'm going to put together in today's episode. So the first thing is a pep talk I wrote to remind myself of my inner strength. And then her letter says, Dear Brittany, I'm writing this letter because I love you. I think you're an amazing person who can do anything she sets her mind to. I kind of filled in a couple words there, but so I've got my handy dandy notebook. I've been watching way too much Blue's Clues, but That was exactly what I thought about because I literally never use a notebook anymore. And when I grabbed it, that was like the first thing that was in my mind. But trust me, there are way worse shows to be watching these days. So I don't mind a little Steve and Blue's Clues. So I'm going to kind of use their letter as a template for myself. And then I'm thinking I will elaborate on that a little bit. So I'm going to I'm just going to take a moment to work on that. So as I'm trying to write this, I'm finding that I'm not really focusing on my inner strengths. It's more how I am serving people and how I am doing a good job with that. So I don't think I'm really meeting the criteria of this letter. And I didn't think that would be so hard for me to write or think about like my inner strength or even focusing on myself. So after I wrote the first paragraph that Brittany, kind of wrote out already, I wrote, "You are the glue that keeps your family together. You are the rock so many people rely on." And I don't know if that says more about my inner strength and inner need to care for other people or my lack of strength for not ever being selfish. And I don't know that either of those are like bad things. That's just thoughts that are coming to mind in this moment. And I'm not really thinking I'm going to sit down and write a whole letter in this one sitting. Like maybe it's something I need to think on a little bit more. Because the next sentence I tried to write was, "You take care of everyone around you." um, and again, I just want to think about my inner strength things and what that would look like. So I kind of finished out my letter by saying, "I know you are insanely strong. You hold on to what really matters in life, even when it's hard." And then I kind of just did some affirmations because I wasn't really sure where else to go with this. And so I wrote, "You are important, you are smart, you are kind." And I wrote these three things um, I don't usually believe that I am important in the grand scheme of things in the world. I know I'm important to like my family functioning and taking care of my daughter and being a good wife, but it's hard for me sometimes to see myself as important as just like a person living my life. I wrote, "You are smart," because a lot of times I do not feel smart and I don't feel like I am as educated as I could be or intelligent as I could be. Things don't always come very naturally to me. So that is something that could definitely get me down on a day if I have like reinforcing experiences that make me feel not smart or make me feel stupid or dumb or whatever, the word is that you want to use. And then I also wrote, "You are kind," because I think I used to confuse kind with being a pushover. I thought that in order to be kind, I needed to mold to what everybody else wanted. I needed to help everyone, say yes to everything. And now I've learned I can still be a kind person and have boundaries that I keep and that I enforce and still take care of myself. I can be selfish and I can still be kind. But these three little affirmations are all things that I don't really believe all the time. And so I feel like on a bad mental health day, hearing those things from myself could be very helpful. And then just the last line I wrote is, "You deserve a beautiful life and to be taken care of," because a lot of times I put my own self care at the very, very end of my to do list, or I just don't even do it. Literally last week, I couldn't remember the last time I showered. And I think it was a Thursday that I had last taken a shower, and I didn't get to shower again until Tuesday. So do with that information what you will. That's not like a brag of like, "Oh my God, I've just been living my life and I didn't shower." Like, no, I just was not taking the time to do it. I didn't feel like I deserved it, I guess. And I was exhausted and tired, and like a shower just did not seem relaxing to me. And then, yeah, I got to the point where I was like, shit, I don't remember when I showered last. And, I felt so much better after I took a shower, like so much better. Maybe it was Monday, because if it was Tuesday, that would have just been yesterday. And I didn't shower yesterday. I also need to get on a better routine with showering. Like Dylan, it's a non negotiable. Every night before bed, he showers. I do not enjoy showering before bed because it usually wakes me up. Like, because I think when I lived at home and when I worked full-time job, like I would shower in the morning. And so I still have just not broken like that mindset to associate showers with like being sleepy. And also normally in the evenings, it's like after dinner and I have to like hurry so that we can get Harper in the bath and then Dylan can take a shower and then like all the hot water is gone. So showers aren't always like a super relaxing experience for me, but I am trying to at least make more time for a skincare routine, which I am also proud of myself for because I'm 30 now. Not at the time of me recording this, but I'm recording in advance. And I think by the time you've heard this episode, it will have been my 30th birthday. And so I figured it was about time to get started on my skincare routine because I haven't had one in years and years, probably since like my early 20s. And I was just doing whatever to get by and to get my skin kind of clear or clean, I guess I should say. Um, but we got to work on these wrinkles and lines. And Dylan telling me all the time, like, that's not very self love of you to be talking about your lines and your wrinkles and folds and stuff. And I guess sometimes that's true, but sometimes that's just really how I feel about it. And I was like, if there's things that I am insecure about or worried about, I think it's okay for me to try to better those things. So, like, my face kept breaking out. And I was like, I feel like I am a teenager again, like acne everywhere. Every time I got stressed, I would have something, which honestly, my skin is like pretty damn clear today. And I think that's honestly because I went to Ulta and I had gift cards and I bought a handful of skincare products and I did some like research from, I watched this dermatologist video. Anyway, I got some like CeraVe skincare stuff and it has seriously worked so well. I got a cleanser and then a vitamin C serum, which I was like, this is probably bullshit. Like, it's not going to work. I don't know what's in that tube. Like, it was expensive, but I'm like, okay, I think it's working. I don't know if it's the combination of the two things or just me actively taking better care of my skin. Like, I don't know, but it's amazing and it's making me feel great. And so that has been nice that even if I'm not showering, I am at least trying to wash my face in a way that like actually makes a difference, isn't just like a rag that I get wet. Cause that for a long time, or like makeup wipes was like the only way I washed my face. So you can be 30 and still not have your shit together. So something to look forward to if you're not 30 yet. Okay. So my letter's not perfect, but it's like mostly done. So I'm going to go to the next slide. Okay, so the second thing it says to put in your kit is a list of people who love me and whom I can rely on. I'm glad that they didn't say like a specific number of people because who do I even put on this list? And that's like no shade to anyone who is in my life and is actively there for me. But that's just like a little overwhelming of like when you're somebody like me who doesn't like to ask for help, that doesn't like to burden other people with like what's going on in their own life because of what could be going on in their life. I'm just like, would I even reach out and bother them? And this is something I've talked through with my therapist before as well. And I kind of just told her, like, I just feel like I need help. And I help so many other people, and I don't know how to ask for help. And, as a therapist does, she just like reframed the question and asked me again, what would it look like to ask for help? How would you ask for help? How would you go about that? Like, we kept coming back to that. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. It makes my heart race. It makes me feel extremely anxious and nervous. Like, I don't want anyone to think that I'm being a bitch or being greedy or like asking for more than what I'm giving, or like, how dare she ask us for anything? Because I'm a giver. I'm not used to trying to take things from people or even accept help. So I feel like this list doesn't have to be like a list of people that you can reach out to on those bad days. It just says a list of people who love me and whom I can rely on. So somebody that I could potentially reach out to. And maybe it could even just be like I look at their social media or I think back to a time that we spent together, maybe even have pictures from like a trip or a time when we were spending time together to just like trigger those happy memories and kind of bring me back to another time. So I think I'm going to write maybe 3 people down, maybe. Also, can one of these be my partner who lives in this house with me? Like, does that count? I don't know. Oh my God, this is hard. A list of people who make me feel loved and I can rely on. Because here's the other thing, too. Like, when I'm thinking of certain people and they're coming to mind, I feel like some of them would have, it would be like conditional, if that makes sense. Like, I can rely on them when it's convenient for them. I can't necessarily expect them to drop everything, right away and spend time with me or chat with me and talk through something. But I think who I'm putting on this list right now is just people who don't need me all the time. Okay, so I put 3 people on my list for now. We'll see if I can like think of some more because I think it's also like it's just hard, especially when maybe you haven't talked to somebody in a long time or they're not involved in like your daily life and situation and familiar with everything going on. It can just end up being all of this backstory to get to where you are right now. Or maybe you live in different states, or, it's just not easy to be there for each other, or for them to be there for me, or whatever. Anyway, instead of like dwelling on this one too much, because if I do, I might cry, I am going to move to the next one. Well, shit. I think I did read this before, but now I totally forgot about this. This makes that last one even worse. Is this more stressful than helpful? Oh my God. Okay, so the third thing that you put in your box or in your kit is supportive love notes from those people. So you're telling me I not only have to think about people that love me for just who I am and I can rely on, and they're like the best people ever, but now I have to ask them to write me a love letter. Cue all of my anxiety. Okay, so if you're listening and you think you're on my list, write me a love letter. Okay, thanks. And I actually do have a cute little thing I could put in here from Dylan. I've got it in my nightstand. And there was one day, sometime last year, after I had started the podcast, I had kind of just had a little bit of a rough time and I was really trying to get the podcast going. And I just was feeling like I was hitting roadblock after roadblock. And also, I was still in like being a new mom and starting toddler stuff and all that. And so Dylan left on my desk a little stack of Post-its. And actually, I will go get it real quick. Please hold. Okay, so I went in my room and got it. Little stack of Post-its, right? Can you see? So, okay, you're not going to be able to read this unless I hold like everyone up. I guess I could do it like this. You are more than a wife, a mother, a daughter. Also, ignore my husband's childlike handwriting. A sister, a friend. You also are ... an individual, right? I'm reading it backwards on my screen. A queen. You right. A boss. A leader. A little woo-woo. Love that. Also, sorry, my nails are not painted. I did see this TikTok that was like, for some reason, I just trust women that don't have their nails painted. And you right. We out here breaking nails and getting them dirty and digging in dirt and doing everything else. So that's why my nails are never painted. And very powerful. Don't ever forget it. I haven't flipped through that in several weeks, if not months. When I first saw this on my desk, I am telling you, I sat there and cried. Like, I really, really needed that. So that I am definitely putting in my kit. And especially the like individual thing, like really got me because kind of like I said earlier about feeling important, like it has been hard for me to remember that like I am valuable just as me, who I am. I usually find my value in who I can be for other people or to other people, how I can help them. Like that's how I like feel important and feel valuable and worthy of things. So anyway, I will keep that in there and maybe one day I'll ask for love letters from other people who love me and can help me on a rough day. And honestly, I feel like I could even go through and find old like text messages and screenshot them and maybe even print them out, because sometimes that's just how we communicate these days, right? And I've definitely had some meaningful conversations over text that have like made me feel much better when I've needed it. So maybe I'll do that. I'm going to add that to my little list here and remind myself to do that. Okay, so the fourth thing to include in my kit is a list of soothing activities for when I don't feel like doing anything. And so on Brittany's list, she has pop a bag of popcorn to share with the dog. I love that. Popcorn is literally one of my favorite snacks, really just movie theater popcorn. That is where it's at. I don't care what you say, who you are. I will eat that shit until I am sick. Literally sick. I have done it before, not for a couple years because I'm like, you've got to stop doing that. Like, just pace yourself. But I love movie theater popcorn more than like anything. So anyway, I'll go on to the next one on her list. Go on a walk or sit on the deck, lie on the floor like a kid and read a picture book, roll into a blanket burrito. Okay, I love that. That's adorable. Listen to a whole album, cuddle with the dog. So on my list, I might have to steal a couple of hers or have mine inspired by hers. So first, I'm going to say I got that viral cup that was on TikTok from Walmart. That's like the insulated cup with the handle, and then it has like the snack bowl on top and a straw. Dylan was like, "That is the most white trash thing I've ever seen in my life." He is correct. I don't care. I got one for him too, even though I knew he was probably going to hate it. But honestly, I have not used it yet, but I'm going to put that on my list to like get some kind of yummy drink, whether it's alcoholic or it's just like Diet Coke, and put some chips in it or some fruit or like whatever I'm craving. Chocolate chips, like I don't know. Fill that sucker up with tons of treats and a good drink and just either sit outside and read a book or even do it, while Harper's playing outside. Like I could still have my drink and my snack, or I could do it and watch a movie or a show that makes me feel good. Okay, so I just titled this my happy list. I put a little smiley face on it. And the first one is Walmart snack cup and watch Bob's Burgers. Like, obviously, I could take my snack cup anywhere I wanted to, but like, ideally, I would sit and watch Bob's Burgers while I was enjoying my drink and my snack. Then I stole the blanket burrito thing because that just sounds amazing and comfortable. And I kind of want to go do it right now just to like giggle and like be wrapped up in a blanket. So fucking cute. The next thing is to have a dance party. I always feel better when I do this. I just turn up my music so loud and I act like a freaking idiot. And I love doing it with Harper or with my dog. I make him crazy when I do it. But it's a good time. And it just lets me like loosen up a little bit and like listen to a song that makes me happy and makes me want to dance. The next thing I put on my list is listen to 1989 or One Direction. 1989 is not necessarily my favorite Taylor Swift album because, like, how do I choose one? Oh shit, what about Reputation? Which one do I listen to when I'm sad? Well, crap. Well, 1989 and or Reputation. Or One Direction. Like One Direction's music, I know it's like so old, but I don't even care. So cute and boppy, and it makes me think about when I was much, much younger. My younger sister was who was into One Direction, but I used to drive her all over the place. And so we listened to One Direction all the time in the car. And so those albums just make me so happy. And so I could totally see that like turning my mood around by listening to one of my favorite albums. The next thing I put on my list was to get a tattoo because that's what we do when we're sad, right? Got to feel the pain. But seriously, it would be so fun if I was having a rough day and I was like, I need to get out of the house, need to do whatever. Got a little extra cash, see if my dude is available and then just go scoot and get a tattoo or at least get one scheduled. I feel like that would make me feel better on a down day. And then I also put take a nap. So yesterday I sat in my hammock that's inside the house, that's in our living room, and I was reading a book and I kind of just kept like dozing off. Like I had just started it. I was not hooked, but I was also, it feels like you're in the womb when you're in this hammock. It's one that I don't know. I just curl up in it, and then I'm just this little thing that's rocking, and like I can't see anything like out of my peripherals. And so I decided, I didn't take my phone with me in the hammock, but I had my watch on. And so I put my book down for a minute. I set my timer because Harper was having a nap, and I didn't want to like not hear her wake up because I was taking a nap. But anyway, I laid in that hammock and had like the best little 20-minute nap ever. And I felt so much better for the rest of the day and like re energized, all of that. So I've definitely allowed myself to nap more often because I do feel like it can turn my day around if I'm just dragging and I can't wake up. Like sometimes I just need a little bit more actual rest or sleep to get through the rest of the day. Okay, that one was fun. Way less stressful than the thing about people. Okay, so the next thing, number 5, have a list. Wait, a list of online videos guaranteed to make me smile. This one she has penguin fails, bloopers from Spy in the Huddle. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds adorable and cute. So if I had to do a list of videos, what would I do? I mean, there's definitely some videos of like Harper or Dylan that make me laugh my ass off. So I could definitely make a little album of those. Oh my God. There's also, sorry, I just thought of it. This meme, I guess, of Kylo Ren. He's like at Olive Garden, right? And they're like doing the cheat. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to link it and you'll just have to look at it. But it's that scene in Star Wars where he's like, more. And he's doing that about cheese at Olive Garden. And like, it just makes me laugh every single time. It only lasts like a couple seconds, obviously, but it is ridiculous and so funny and so cute. And also, like, I'm obsessed with Kylo Ren. I love him. And I'm obsessed with cheese on my pasta. So it's like the perfect thing. But I could probably also find some TikToks that have really made me laugh and like add them to a nice little list. I don't really watch videos like that on YouTube, but again, maybe I could find some. But there are some creators on TikTok that I just think are hilarious and I love watching their stuff. And so I feel like I could just watch a lot of their stuff and be really happy about it. Okay, so number 6, a list of things I've accomplished in my life to read if my self esteem is low. What have I accomplished? List of accomplishments. And see, I like almost immediately wanted to like discount my accomplishments because I'm like, I graduated community college and I was the first one in my family to do that since my stepdad, he's almost graduated from college, which is awesome. So this one I'll definitely have to think on a little bit more, but I just put graduated college, published a book. I self-published it when I was 18 and I paid for it. So even though that book is like an embarrassment to me now, like I am still very impressed with my younger self and that she was inspired and motivated enough to do something like that. So I think that was pretty cool. Paid off all of my school debt and otherwise debt years and years ago, probably like almost 5 years ago at this point. And yeah, we are debt free besides paying for our HVAC system, which we probably have another year or two to pay on, and then our mortgage. Like we don't have car payments, we don't have anything. So that's pretty great to not have any debt or not any like substantial debt. And I also put that I survived childbirth. If you've been here a while, you know that was a very traumatic experience for me, and it was yeah, it was a lot. Didn't know if I was going to make it out of that one, but I did survive. So I'll keep that light and airy. If you want to learn more about that, you have to go back and listen to other episodes. Because I'm in a good spot today. I'm not touching on that sad, heartbreaking stuff today. I can't. Okay, so that's the end of the list of things that she's putting in her kit. And one of the last slides says, the idea was that if future me felt hopeless and lacked energy to take care of herself, past me could offer love and care. I do love that. And then what would be in your emergency kit is the last slide. So I'm not really sure what else I would add to mine at the moment. And I just went and found a box. This is like a box I had in Harper's room that I just got at TJ Maxx. But I didn't really have anything else. I'm just working with what I got. And there's nothing in it right now. So I'm just going to put my letter and my list in there and then my little note from Dylan. And then hopefully I can kind of revisit this, add more things to it, and learn kind of what I'm craving in those hard or bad mental health days, and then add those things that would be helpful to my kit because I haven't really paid attention to it much. Like I said, I didn't see this until I saw it while I was having kind of a rough mental health day or week. But I wasn't like actively thinking about like, oh, what would be helpful for me in this time, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, thank you for doing this with me today. I want to be the kind of person who does things like this more often. That way, I am more actively like taking care of myself and my mental health because it can just get away from you so fast and so easy. And sometimes when you are having those down or bad mental health days, it is just so damn hard to pull yourself out of it. And you do just feel hopeless and lost. And like, what do you do? And, I wouldn't be able to come up with like any of these things when I was having a rough day. So I'm glad that I saved this for a good mental health day to do this and tackle it. And honestly, I was doing it with you to hold myself accountable because let's be honest, like, I don't know if I would have really done it if I didn't think, oh, I could do that for the podcast, like do it as an episode. And honestly, you listening and having this podcast has held me accountable and has like encouraged me to be nicer to myself, to take better care of myself, and to like practice what I preach. And, a lot of people probably that even you follow talk about things that they are struggling with. And I just want to be transparent about that when I can be. Sometimes it's really hard for me in the moment to just be like, I fucking hate everything. I hate my life. I'm miserable. Like, I don't want to be a burden on you. I don't want to project my negative feelings and experiences and things like that on you, especially if you're not having a great time. Like, that's not fun for anybody. But I'm more than happy to talk about the things that I've gone through once I've kind of been through it and I'm dealing with it and I'm getting to the other side, even if I'm not like all the way on the other side yet. So, anyway, thank you so much for doing this with me today. If you have also done it or decided to pause and like get your things together and do these activities with me, please let me know. Leave me a comment or message me on Instagram or something like that. I hope that this is helpful for you. Be sure to check out the post that I will link in the description to be able to see exactly what this post was all about. And I just hope that you have an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one.